Hello, everyone. My name is Danny. This review is for the movie called Creed 2. Between personal obligations and training for his next big fight, Adonis Creed, son of deceased world heavyweight champion Apollo Creed, has boxing in his blood, but is up against the biggest challenge of his life. Facing an opponent with ties to his family's past only intensifies his impending battle in the ring. Adonis and Rocky Balboa, his father's rival turned friend, need to confront their shared legacy, question what's worth fighting for, and discover that nothing's more important than family. This is a 2018 film. It's rated PG-13. It runs 130 minutes, and it stars Michael B. Jordan, Sylvester Stallone, Tessa Thompson, Wood Harris, Felicia Rashad, and Dolph Lundgren. Creed 2. Well, I think the first obvious thing to say is that this is not as good as the original. It never will be. It has this plot line where he has this arch rival and he faces him twice in the movie. So it leads up to the fight and it leads up to the fight. And when you have that kind of situation where your movie's 2 hours and you have two things you're leading up to, then it just kind of draws on. It gets old. It's the same storyline over and over again. There's not much to say, new stuff. With a boxing movie, there's not ever really too much drama to have, anyways. They try and throw in a couple things here and there with uh, Adonis trying to have a family, and start a new life with a wife and all that stuff. And I can't say it adds that much to it because we don't get to know them. And we're just supposed to know what's going on from the first movie. And that's never a good way to handle things. You need some kind of character production every movie you do so that people know who the characters are. I mean, like, that you look at series, and movies that are long, have a lot of movies in their series. Pretty much why they exist is because they have good character production every single movie. So if you want to go see Star Wars 5, you can go see Star Wars 5. Um, so I think Creed 2 had a little bit of trouble with character production, with plot line, making stuff interesting the whole time. Um, it was really hard to ever imagine that after his first fight that he would ever do anything ever again. I think they handled that okay. The recoup time, it seemed to go on for a while, but it's realistic with boxers. They have to take so long to recoup, and everything. So I think they could have spent more time developing his training. I think that was kind of one of the cooler parts of the movie is to see his preparation, his time that it took, what it took, to get himself ready to go. And I think the fights kind of paled in comparison to what it for the dramatic element of the training. I think I would have liked to see more of that rather than more of the storyline drama stuff. So, I always liked Michael B. Jordan, and I really loved him in the first movie. I think he was a little dry in this one, maybe because he was bulked up more. He was meant to be this figure, he's meant to be this hothead who can't really think for himself. He can't do anything unless Rocky's around him. It just made him look a little weak, and and Michael just seemed to maybe just not know really what to do unless he had this, and this in place, and it just made the character look a little weak. Uh, I'm gonna say something, and I'm really sorry to say this, but I've been seeing a couple of his movies now. I think it's time for Stallone to call it quits. He has no great facial change, no real emotion to him. He has really no more acting skills to provide. He's just in movies because he's Sylvester Stallone. He's just there and he says his lines and he goes off screen. I saw a movie of his a while back where he's a cop and he literally does like three things the whole movie. And I'm like, wow, thanks for being in the film. And this one, he's Rocky Balboa. You'd think he have more to do than just say, "Oh, I can't be a part of things." "Oh, okay, I can be a part of things." Like it's just really, really terrible um, on his part. I mean, to for the writers or for him, whoever thought of that being his involvement in this film is really pathetic. So I'm kind of over Stallone as an actor. I'm kind of over him being Rocky Balboa. I hope this is the last Creed movie. I hope that Stallone can start to call it quits in general with movies. I just think it's his time to call it quits. He doesn't provide any great acting drama for me anymore. Like he's so dry, he's so plain, he's so useless. I just am done with him. I'm sorry. Everybody else in this film does do a pretty good job. The other trainer, the girlfriend, the wife, whatever, the mother, she's really good. Um, there are some good, you know, parts to this. Dolph Lundgren and his son are just the bad guys. I mean, it's not like really bad because they're fighting for something too, and that's where this movie gets a little murky. Is that they're not bad? They're just from a country where if you lose, you're done. And there's nothing left for you. So I think I enjoyed Creed 2 as much as a person can because there was so much wrong with it, really. And if you don't understand that, then I don't know what to tell you. But there's a lot wrong with this movie. I really could criticize it a lot more, but I'm going to leave it where it's at. But it's not as good as the original. It has a lot of loose ends. It has a lot of stuff that's suggested that and it doesn't want to explain it because it's the second one. But it has all this time where nothing's really happening, and they could be spending time explaining things or developing characters or something. But he's just getting ready for the first fight, or he's just getting ready for the second fight, and it's just kind of sad. So, uh, you know, I, I I just don't know what to do with a movie like this, and so I'm gonna give Creed 2 a C. And I can say I've seen it, but I like the first one a lot better, and I can suggest watching that. But I know people will watch this, but just don't have too much, high expectations for it. It is what it is, and it doesn't try to be anything else. And I think if it strove to be something a little bit more exciting, something, then it could be better if it wanted to be. But it is what it is, and it's kind of plain and it's kind of ridiculous. So the fights are the fights. That's what the movie's all about, and that's all it really has to offer. So a C for Creed 2. Thanks a lot, guys. My name's Danny. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and give some of them a watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would, and enjoy your movies. Thanks.